Shalom, good morning, boys. Here. Well, what I wanted to get on here and talk about is something very important, something that I've talked about time and time and time and time and time again through the years. And it just seems as though people just don't get it. Uh, People feel as though it can't happen to them. I don't know what it is. And in addition to that, it's not talked about from a leadership perspective. I don't care whether it's from people being patriarchs at their home, grandfathers, grandmothers, um, pastors, elders, Christianity, Hebrew. I don't care what flavor you may be. This is not talked about enough, and it needs to be pressed upon for everybody out there that has a family, uh, that care about your loved ones. And I'm going to say something that maybe people don't know, because we live in a world where, hey, the high fructose corn syrup, the aspartame, the fluoride, it has had an effect on our minds. But I'm going to press this again. You know that we're all going to pass on, right? I mean, does everybody know this? Because people act like we get up in the morning and we go out that, hey, we're going to come home. And there's many people that will get up today and that will never come home. They'll get up today, or they got up yesterday or the day before that, and they would live just living their lives. And as a direct result of that, uh, they went on about their day and they never came home. Regardless of what the reason was, they never came home. I was unfortunate enough to be uh, in the area when 9/11 took place. I remember I was working for a insurance company. Uh, it's an implementation business analyst for a company called Marsh and McLennan. And Marsh and McLennan was in the World Trade Center. And if I had started on September 10th of that year, I would not be here today. But I was supposed to start on the 10th, but my manager was in Europe at the time. And so I didn't start until the 17th, but I should have started on the 10th. You got to understand, we don't know the day, the hour that evil may come our way or even death. We understand that it's important to, carry a firearm. And that is talked about all the time, that we should carry a firearm, right? But it is not equally talked about that we should carry life insurance. Because again, you could be in a situation like many people have seen. I know a good elder that I was brothers with, Brother Felix, or Elder Felix, that I introduced into the truth and the way. And unfortunately, Elder Felix passed away of multiple myeloma. And hey, you know how it would have been easy if, and I know his wife, I knew them before the faith. And now his wife has to work DoorDash and Uber, and it's sad, and struggle with young children. Now, all of this could have been avoided if he had a simple life insurance policy. I've been talking about this for years because I was a former life insurance, uh, salesperson. I used to sell life insurance, and so everybody I always talked about, just getting a basic policy. I've always had a basic policy, a little term life policy. You can get sick, anything can happen. And those term life policies, they don't cost much, especially if you're young. You can get a good term life policy for $100,000, $250,000 for less than $50 a month, less than a couple of cups of coffee, less than a dinner out, less than anything, any number of things that you do that waste 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks a month, especially if you're younger. Especially if you're younger. Have life insurance. Get a little life insurance policy. Both me and my wife, we have life insurance policies on both of us. Just in case, at the bare minimum, we can get into the ground without having to go to GoFundMe. Because we've been saying it over and over again. It seems as though GoFundMe is the life insurance policy for black people. When now, not only you have to rely on them, others, the benevolence of others, to put you into the ground, or anybody in the ground, but not only that, the financial burden associated with having that income removed. And now we are in inflationary times. We're in calamitous times. We're in people where everybody's broke today. It seems as though the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. And let me tell you, I'm not a wealthy man. I can hold my own just fine. But you got to understand that these things are very, very serious, that you have to plan for these things. And it feels good to know that my wife and my children won't be destitute, homeless, begging anybody for bread if something happened to me. It feels good to know that. Why? Because I practice what I preach. Folks, you need to take this seriously. It's not going to cost you a lot of money just to get a little term life policy, just to get a borough policy. $15, $20 a month can save you a whole lot of headache and a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of suffering if you just will be obedient. Be wise. You have car insurance, right? See, we have car insurance because they force us to have car insurance. Medical insurance, dental insurance. You can get access to these things. Taking care of these things is critical. But you say it over and over and over again, and people just ignore it. And hey, man, hey, bro, you got a life insurance policy? Hey, you know, it's sad. It really is sad how people, especially when you warn them, do nothing at all. You can tell. Because, see, if they don't care about their own families and their own wives and their own children, they ain't give a rat's ass about you. This is a good litmus test out there. Hey, do something about it. It's not going to cost much money to get a little policy. Please go ahead and get a life insurance policy. Please go ahead, just in case something happens, because we never know what we become coming to and fro. I just now recently increased the insurance. It's like to a $500,000, liability and accidental, all of that stuff on my car insurance. We increased that to $500,000 on both from $250,000. It's important to get these things just to hedge yourself, just in case something happens. You're covered. Your car is covered. You're covered. So that you don't have to worry about these things in the event that something do go on. Please do it for the sake of yourselves, for your families. I just don't want to see anybody else just in pain like this. Think about the wives. Think about the children. Go and look at your wife and your children. Set up things accordingly. It don't cost much money. Don't cost much money at all. Please. Shalom.